Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL video. It's time to go over all the Week 9 sides, totals, and spreads. I do have an Alt Total Parlay to go over with you, as well as talk about some Survivor picks, and then also just some totals that I like that I'm going to bet outright and a spread. So let's go ahead and jump into that. All right, guys, so I am filming this obviously before the Monday night game. It is Monday morning right now, but here's how we did on the money line spreads and totals for Week 8. I did great on the money lines. We're at 57% hit rate on the money lines. I did not so great on the spreads. I mean, I did okay, but like overall, I'm not doing great on the spreads. I'm terrible against the spread. And then the totals, though, I am doing pretty well, and we've been making a little bit of money on the totals here. So for some reason, that just seems to be the edge that I'm good at. So I will continue to try to get better at the spreads, and I will continue to try to be good at the totals. All right, so these are the bets that I gave out to you last week, the game bets. We missed our teaser. Minnesota could not keep up with the Chargers, and then Miami obviously destroyed Atlanta. I actually loved that because it killed about a third of my Survivor entries. Not my entries, but like people in my Survivor League died, about a third. So I am 1 out of 34 people left in my Survivor League. So I need help to try to make it to the end, guys. All right, the Alt Total Parlay has not hit yet because we did have Monday night's game. We're hoping for an under in this one. But we did boost that total up and then take the under. So we're hoping to make some money on that. And then we did get the 49ers at Houston under barely. It ended at 41. So that one barely cashed for us. The player props did okay. We went 4-4. Nick Chubb just got a catch. I mean, that we were betting against a catch, and he had 2. Jalen Hurts did not need to pass. By the way, I also took a lowered line on Jalen Hurts in like a chalky slip, and it was 179.5. And I lost $50 on that because he threw exactly 179, and I hit the other picks. So I just missed that by 1 freaking yard. I lost $50 by 1 yard from Jalen Hurts. So that kind of sucked. Bijan Robinson over 3.5 quarter one receiving yards. He did not have a catch in the first quarter. The very first play of the second quarter was a throw to Bijan Robinson, but it didn't go for 4 yards anyways, so it wouldn't have mattered. Kayshon Boutte killed this line, destroyed this line. Pretty much, you could have bet on any of the Patriots receivers. They all had a big chunk play. And then Bo Nix over 232.5 passing yards. He did go over for us against the Cowboys. I didn't think he was going to because they were up by so much, but luckily they left him in and he continued to throw even late into the fourth quarter. And then they finally did bench him eventually. Courtland Sutton, over 4.5 receptions. This was a bit frustrating because there were a couple that he should have had. One in particular that I'm thinking of, and that would have pushed us over this line. And then Evan Ingram over 30.5 receiving yards. He ended with like 36 or something like that. And Jordan Love over 237.5. He went over 300. So that one was an easy winner. Total player prop run for the NFL season, we're at 52%. So not too bad there. The touchdowns, I didn't have time. I totally forgot about the touchdowns, you guys. So I left this in the pinned comment, this little touchdown parlay for plus 600, and it did not hit. So no worries there. I just lost a quarter unit on that one. And then the leans both did not hit. Jordan Love just had -1 rush yards. And then DK Metcalf, I think he only had like 6 or something. He had like 1 catch for 6 yards in the first half. So that one did not work out either. All right, the teams that are on bye, you can see those there. And then the teams that will be on bye next week so that you can kind of start planning for it if you do anything like that, are right there for you. All right, Baltimore at Miami will be the first game we talk about here. The Ravens won in 2023. The Dolphins won the 2 years prior, 2022 and 2021. And in general, these are high totals that we're talking about between these two teams. The Ravens are scoring 22.8 points per game at home, but they're scoring 30 points away. And they are playing away at Miami. The Dolphins are allowing about 27 points away. So I do think that the Ravens can get to 30 here against this weak team. And then the Dolphins, the Ravens are allowing 39 points away. So pretty much teams can score whatever they want on them. And the Dolphins are scoring about 27 at home. But I just think this Ravens team is getting a bit healthier. And so I put the Dolphins at 24. So 30-24 was the score I came up with. I like Baltimore on the money line. I do like Miami on the spread. It's possible that the Ravens just completely blow out this team and the Dolphins are incapable of scoring at all. But if that happens, then, you know, all of these are going to miss. Like the total's going to miss, everything's going to miss. So I'm going to take the Dolphins on the spread. I'm going to take the over 49.5. And I did put them in an alt total parlay because I do think both teams are going to be able to score, although it is a little bit scary taking the Dolphins. Now, I've already used the Ravens as a survivor pick, so for me, this is not an option for a game. All right. The Bears facing the Bengals. So this is just a 1.5 point spread with a really high total. So this is kind of similar to the game that we saw between the Bears and the Cowboys. That's similar high total and close spread. They last played in 2021, so it's been a while. The Bears won a close, low-scoring game that was in Chicago. The Bears are scoring about 21.8 points away, which is a little bit less than their average. And the Bengals are allowing 29.8. So pretty much the Bears are going to be able to score however many points they want. And I think they get closer to their average. So a little bit higher than what they're normally scoring away because the Bengals are not a good team on defense, especially. The Bengals are scoring 31.5 points at home, but the Bears are allowing 32.5. So I do like a high 31-27 score. So we're going to take the Bengals to win, though, at home. Bengals plus 1.5 and the over 51.5. Now, the Bears could easily win this game. I don't have strong feelings towards either team on the, here. I would say, if you want to take the Bengals right now as the underdog and tease them up, and then if this flip-flops and the Bears become the underdog, then you could tease the Bears up and play both sides. You could potentially cash both of those teaser legs. All right, the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, they're playing in Detroit. This is a big spread, 8.5 to 9.5. That seems really big for the Vikings, but I went back and looked at their series history, and the Vikings have lost the last 5 head-to-heads. So 4 out of those 5 went over 50. So it was a high-scoring game that the Vikings lost. They've just been swept by these Lions recently. The Vikings are scoring 19.5 points away, which is not great. And the Lions are allowing 27.5, the Lions are only allowing 13.3 at home. So this is going to be a tough one, I think, for the Vikings. I put them at 17. And then the Lions are scoring 36.7 at home. The Vikings are allowing 25.8. So I went in the middle there, and I think the Lions land around 28. So 28-17 is the score I see. That gives us a Detroit win. So Detroit on the money line, Detroit on the spread, and then the under of 48.5. So even though the history says that these games go over, lately the Vikings have just been playing to the under, and I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. So I guess we'll find out. But the only thing I would consider here is like teasing Detroit down to 2.5. But there aren't a lot of other teaser legs that I like. There are a few, but they're risky. So we'll go over them. But I didn't end up doing a spread teaser this time around. But you could if you want to. All right, the Chargers at Tennessee. Spread is 9.5 to 10.5. The last 5 head-to-heads, going back to 2018, the home teams won. The Chargers won 3 of those. The Titans won 2 of those, and they were all the home teams won. So this year, the Chargers are scoring 23.5. If I don't say home and away, it means it's about the same. So they're scoring about 23.5 and allowing about 19.5 away. So they're actually playing a little bit better away on defense. The Titans are scoring 17.3 at home and allowing 25. Not at home. They're allowing 35 at home. So the Titans are not playing well at home. The Chargers are playing better on the road. So this kind of seems like an easy choice here, but this is like a classic Chargers letdown spot. You guys cannot forget. I cannot forget the Chargers game from 2 years ago where they went to the Patriots, who are also like a bottom of the barrel team, and the score was like 6-3. It was one of the most miserable games I've ever seen. So this is a classic Chargers letdown spot, but the stats are telling us otherwise. So I have to take the Chargers on the money line. I will take Tennessee plus 10.5. I don't know why, but that is what I'm doing. And then under 42.5. Now, I'm not betting on these. These are just my leans, right? I don't have any bets in this game other than this is potentially one of my survivor picks. So if I don't use the Chargers this week, I think there's only one other week I can use them, and that is against the Raiders which that's a division matchup. So that's tough. And the Chargers already won the first time. So I think the Raiders are going to be obviously motivated to win that one. So that seems scary to me. So I'm thinking of putting the Chargers in as my survivor pick, and I need your guys' help. So that is how we're going to do the cash giveaway for this video, is you're going to help me decide who to pick for my survivor pick. Chargers is one option. All right, Atlanta at New England. So spread here is 4.5 to 5.5. The Falcons have lost the last 7 head-to-heads going back to 2001. The Falcons are only scoring 10.7 points in away games. The Patriots are allowing 19.8. The Patriots are scoring 25.3 at home, and the Falcons are allowing 18.7. So the Patriots have been playing to the over a lot, which is why we're seeing this high total. I don't see that happening. So I see a low total. 21-17 is what I'm seeing here. Well, that's not super low, but like 38, that's pretty low. It's way lower than 46, which is what they're giving us. So this is for sure a bet for me. I will be betting Atlanta at New England under 46.5. That is just crazy. All right, San Francisco at the Giants. 49ers had 2 blowout wins in 2023 and 2020. One was in California, one was in New York. The 49ers are only scoring 20 points right now this year, and they're allowing 22.6 away. The Giants are scoring 21.6 and allowing 19 at home. So both of these teams are going to get to about 20. I just went with 24-20 as a score. That comes in at 44, which is under this total. So I would go under the total here. San Francisco on the money line, San Francisco on the spread. But if the Giants won this one, I would not be surprised. So anyone who wants to take the Giants, I'm not going to argue with you. I just like the under on the total there. Obviously, the Giants are without Cam Scatterbo now, and so their pieces are kind of falling apart. I already did bet this in the summer at -3.5 on the spread for San Francisco. So unfortunately, I have to roll with that, but I would not be making that bet now. All right, Denver at Houston. So the spread is only 1.5. The total's low. So home teams won in 2023 and 2022. So Houston won 1, Denver won 1, and the totals were low. The Broncos are scoring 20.8 points in away games. The Texans are allowing 17. The Texans are scoring 23.7 at home, and the Broncos are allowing 20. So again, I see like a 20-20 game. I'm going to do something crazy and call a tie game for 21-21. Maybe I'll look up like what the odds are for that exact score and a tie and throw like $1 on it, because I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I'm not trying to tell you I can pick the score. That's incredibly difficult. But I'm just seeing both of these teams around 20. So this could be an overtime game, just saying. I do like the over. I like the over because I think both of these teams can get to 20. And then if it goes into overtime, obviously someone's going to have to score in overtime. So I'm going to take Houston just because they're plus money, right? So I don't have strong feelings on either side of this. I'll just take the plus money side, and then Houston plus 1.5. I do like the alt total over. So if you lower the total and then go over it, by the way, no site is allowing you to do that right now. I checked this morning again, and you cannot alter this total because they already know that it's really low. But I would lean to the over. All right, Jacksonville at the Raiders. So this one is a 1-on-1 series going back to 2022. The home teams won both times. Jaguars are scoring 20.9 points and allowing 29. The Raiders are scoring 17.7 at home and allowing 18.3 at home. So again, I see this as a closer game than it should be. 24-17 maybe is kind of what I'm seeing. Jacksonville winning, Jacksonville on the spread, the under of 43.5. But I think this one could easily go over. So I think this one is a dangerous one. I would just stay away from this one if I were you. All right, New Orleans at the Rams. The spread here is 13.5. The total is 44.5. Rams won in 2024, 2023. One was home, one was away. And then the Saints won in 2022 at home. The spreads in those games, 7, 8, and 7. The next oldest game in 2019, the spread was 18. The Saints are scoring 16 and allowing, 33.7 in away games. The Rams are scoring 21.3 at home. They're only allowing 18.3 at home. So I don't know how the Saints get over 17 here. And I think the Rams hover right around 21 to 24. And so I like 24-17. That is under this total. And I like the Rams on the money line, obviously. I do like the Saints on the spread. I think the Saints are a teaser candidate, guys. So I was looking at this. If you want to do a 7-point teaser or tease them all the way up to 20.5, I guess 19.5 is okay. But I looked this up, and the Rams have not beat a team by 20 points or more since 2023. So it's been a couple years, and it was a division matchup against the Cardinals. So that's just a fun fact there. They're not really out here blowing out teams and even bad teams. So this is my other survivor pick. Obviously, the spread is a little bit bigger in this game than in the Chargers Titans game, and we're picking the home team here. So obviously, I like this one better, but I can use the Rams in a couple of other spots down the road, and I feel like the Chargers, it's like now or never type of a thing. So these are the two teams you're choosing between: is the Rams hosting the Saints with a 13.5 spread, or the Chargers going to the Titans with like an 8.5 point spread. So those are your choices. Kansas City at Buffalo. So Chiefs have won at home in regular season games since 2017. They've only played twice in New York in the regular season in that same time frame, and they're 1-1 with the Bills. The Bills won the most recent one, which I think we can all remember that one. Chiefs are scoring 23.7 points away, so that's not great. The Bills are allowing 25.8, and then the Bills are scoring 30.8 at home, but the Chiefs are only allowing 22.3. So probably both teams are going to get close to 30 here. I don't know if any team goes over 30, but if they do, we're going to go way over this total. So I am going to take the over on the total. Well, I'm not betting it, but I'm leaning towards the over on the total. I'll lean towards Buffalo just because we're getting the plus money. In these big marquee matchups, I think I've talked about before where I could see either team winning. I like to just take the plus money. So plus money on the Bills on the money line, and then plus the 1.5. All right, Carolina at Green Bay. Packers have won the last 3 games going back to 2019. Panthers are scoring 14.5 away, and the Packers are allowing 25.3. The Panthers are only allowing 22.8 in away games, and the Packers are scoring 27.6 at home. So Packers are going to blow out the Panthers. It's going to be a similar situation to what we just saw with the Bills. That's my opinion. So 27-14, that is under this total. So I'll go under the total for the lean. And then Green Bay on the money line, Green Bay on the spread. All right, Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. The Colts are the favorites. So the Colts did win the last 2 head-to-heads. Those were both in Indianapolis. They lost the previous 8 head-to-heads. So Steelers went on an 8-game run, and then the Colts won 2 at home. So the Colts are obviously the top scoring team in the league this year at 33.8. They're allowing only 23.7 points in away games. The Steelers are scoring about 21.7 at home. They are allowing 25. So I think that the Steelers could get 24 to 27 points here, and the Colts could go over 30. It would not surprise me, though. Mike Tomlin just lost as like a home dog to the Packers. Now they're staying home and playing back-to-back home games where they're a dog again. So I could see the Steelers getting up and beating this Colts team. That would not surprise me, but I'm going to lean. So my favorite bet then is the over. So I think both teams are going to be able to score here. But I do like the over 47.5. I also like Indianapolis on the spread, -2.5. So I'm going to take that. Okay, Sunday Night Football. The Seahawks and the Commanders are 1-1 going back to 2022. The home teams won in both of those. But I don't think that happens this time. So the Seahawks are scoring 24.7 points away. Commanders are allowing 28.8. So I think they should, the Seahawks should be able to get their average, maybe even a little bit more. The Seahawks are allowing only 16.3 points away, and the Commanders are scoring 28.7 at home. So that is going to be the battle. It's going to be the Commanders' offense versus the Seattle defense. Which one wins that battle? Because we know the Seahawks are going to be able to score. So I would look at Jackson Smith and Jigba props in this one. I think he has a fantastic matchup, and we're probably going to be taking him for 100 plus, depending on the price for that. So Seattle on the money line, Seattle on the spread, and the over of 45.5. And then the Monday game, Arizona Cardinals at the Dallas Cowboys. Cardinals actually won the last 3 head-to-heads going back to 2020, which surprised me. These are higher total games. Cardinals are scoring 21.9 this year and allowing 22. Cowboys are scoring 41.3 points at home and allowing 31.3. So I like Dallas here. I like Dallas on the money line, Dallas on the spread, and I like the under 53.5. Arizona is dealing with a lot of injury issues, a lot of team cohesion issues. They have a decent defense, but they're going into Dallas. Dallas is going to put up 30 on them. I put it here as 24-21, but I think Dallas could put up 30, especially after that embarrassing loss to the Broncos. I think they're going to circle the wagons here. So I just don't know if Arizona can get to 21. Even though I put it here, I put that they're going to be 21. I don't know if they can, and against this soft Cowboys team. But anyway, I'll take the under. So here's what I ended up doing. Here's what I was able to put in. So I took an alt total teaser for plus 179. Baltimore at Miami over 43.5. So it was 49.5. I lowered it to 43.5. Took the over. And then Atlanta at New England under 51.5. So I bumped that number up, then took the under. And then Indianapolis at the Pittsburgh Steelers over 42.5. This would be the one that I think scares me the most, even though I think that Baltimore-Miami one, obviously Miami could completely fall apart. So I just got to roll with the stats, you guys. We're just going to, it's a plus money teaser, so I'm only putting a half unit on it. And then Atlanta at New England under 46.5. That is the normal line. I love it. So I slammed that with a full unit. And then Arizona at Dallas under 53.5. I don't love that one as much, but I'm putting some money on that. Indianapolis minus 2.5 at the Steelers. So that one also scares me. But these are the ones I decided to put my money on, you guys. You can do whatever you want. And then, of course, so in order to get in for the cash giveaway for this video, which we didn't give one out for the last video yet because my alt total teaser has not finished cashing yet, if that game stays under tonight, then someone will be getting some money for that video. And I will try to remember, but remind me if I forget. For this video, what I want you to do for the cash giveaway is just tell me, should I choose the Chargers at the Titans as my survivor pick, where I don't feel like I can use the Chargers later on, or should I choose the Rams at home versus the Saints with a 13.5 point spread, even though I feel like there are some more spots that I can use the Rams. So I'm in a survivor league. I'm one of 34 people left alive, and I would really love that grand prize. I don't have the best entry because I was just kind of winging it, honestly. It was just kind of a fun thing for me. And then I suddenly found myself here in the finals. So help me figure that out. Whichever one you pick, I don't know which I'm going to go with, but whichever one you pick, if that team is correct, like wins, then you'll be in for the cash giveaway. If they're both correct, then just, any commenter who picked one of the two will be in for the cash giveaway. All right, thanks, guys.